I tried the 3-part breathing, but I wasn't too committed to it because it was so tricky.
And yes, I'm with you on that. Okay. And is that about?
That's all.
Okay. So let's actually, we are going to do a little bit of the 3-part today, but not in that same way. I think the whole inhaling is one thing. Okay, if we get that bottom, middle, top, but then top, no, that's just overcomplicated. So we're not even going to go to that right now.
Okay.
So just review then a quick, the diaphragmatic breathing, which is the yoga breath. And the point of that is just to fill your lungs all the way in, deep from the diaphragm. And the way we gauge that is one hand on the chest, one hand on the diaphragm, making sure that the bottom hand comes out and the chest mostly stays up or mostly doesn't move, right? Okay. The other thing I want to talk about is just the review about trauma, that it's stored in our brain through memories, but then that is what triggers the tightness in the psoas muscle that's in our hips, which is why we often feel hip tension. And so that's why a lot of times you see the diaphragmatic breathing used in your yoga. And a lot of that is to help, release that. I was going to spend a little bit of time, and we will maybe next time, doing a little bit of just gentle stretching as we're breathing. But you can just do that honestly anytime at home. And I would just recommend that. It just feels really good, to be honest. So if we had more time, we would do that. Do your hips ever feel tight?
Yeah, and I actually got x-rays and my hips are shifted.
Oh, interesting. So the muscles can tense up so much and your body freezes in that fight or flight.
To the right, and then the hips are twisted.
And then everything's tightened up against that. Yeah. So that can cause some pain. So it's just the bottom line is it's all interconnected. Body and mind, and muscle and breath. It's all part of the whole thing. So I think we'll do a little bit more of that next time. All right, so we practice. So let's just go ahead and take just a moment again then to practice the belly breath together, literally just for 1 minute, okay? So we're going to inhale through the nose, just all the way in, like you're inhaling, blowing up a balloon. The bottom of your lungs fills up, and then relax, and then let's have you exhale through the mouth. So for everything we're doing today, it will be inhale through the nose, and then exhale through the mouth. And all I want to touch on as far as the 3-part breath is just notice how when you inhale fully and deeply, we're inhaling from the bottom, then the mid where the rib cages expands, and at the very end, to get the fullest breath, that's when we will at that point start to get the chest to rise because we filled up the whole lungs. So let's just do that for a few moments. That deep diaphragmatic breath, but filling up all of your lungs, starting at the bottom, then the middle, then the top. And then when you do release and let out the air, just slow, a little bit through pursed lips and out your mouth. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Let's go and do that a few times just at your own pace. There's no counting for this. Keep doing that as I keep talking. Just practicing the inhaling and getting the sensation of it. Because this is simply instructional and you can practice at home. You can set aside time to practice. I honestly do most of my practicing when I'm driving or even when I'm working, if I can take a moment to focus on that. So as far as the 3-part that we're concerned about, when you hear me referring to it until I say otherwise, it'll just be noticing bottom, middle, top, and then exhaling however it comes out, no controlled way. Now I want to briefly touch on, and we'll do more of this next time, it'll all just build upon each other, little bits and pieces, then eventually will come together. And for me, with learning breathing techniques, it really becomes a personal journey. You learn some basic principles, then you figure out what you like, draw on what you want to when you want to. There's 2 I want to go over today. I tapped on the coherent breathing last time. I'm going to tap on that again, but also teach you Senobi breathing briefly. What Senobi breathing, Senobi, I won't spell it, but Senobi. What Senobi is good for is to activate the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight. So it's actually designed to energize you. It can help stimulate your metabolism. It helps people aid with weight loss and appetite control. So you can use it before you eat. So for anyone who has had struggles with obesity in their life now or in the past or that sort of thing, it can help regulate that. It's also been used to help people with asthma. And it's good for focus. So on one hand, it helps activate the nervous system, the fight or flight part, so you're focused in, you're ready to go. So that's something that might be good to use in the morning, or if you need to mentally focus or get some energy. And then the other one we'll talk about today is the coherent breathing, which we talked about last time. And that one is going to do kind of the yang of that, the yin-yang of that, the other side of that will help activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest. So the Senobi will help energize us and help bring us focus and center our minds. And then the coherent will help get us more into the relaxed state. So this is best done when standing up, but you can do it sitting or standing. And I'm just going to show you, talk you through it. We'll let you try it for a couple of minutes, and then we'll go on to the coherent. So Senobi breathing, it's a big stretch. Like I said, it's best when you're standing up. You can interlace your hands or just kind of interlace them or go like that up over your head and slightly arch your back. If we had more time, we would stand up and do a full practice, and we'll do it maybe another time, or you can practice it at home. And we're just going to do that deep diaphragmatic breathing with this stretch. So we're expanding, we're giving it a whole lot of space with a slight back arch. So inhale through your nose, there's no counting, but a full inhale, belly breath. And I like to add to that the 3-part breath, so we're filling up all the lungs. And then exhale through your mouth. So go ahead, just do your own pace. I'll do it, then just join in. And you want to look up at your hands as you do this. So it's a slight arch and a nice stretch. In through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And it's recommended to do this only for about 3 minutes, 3 times a day, or a minute before you eat to help regulate your appetite and, again, metabolism. I remember when I learned about this, I remember reading about that, and I found how interesting it was that my weight just settled right back down. I lost the few pounds I'd gained back. I wasn't trying to diet or exercise, and I was just feeling and looking my best. And I stray away from it, and anytime I come back to this, I find my body weight re-regulates, meaning that I've had an issue with my weight my whole life. You know this about me. And I've been able to manage it through diet and exercise. But when I do this, it just kind of takes care of itself. I'm not trying. There's no efforting. I'm not saying that's going to be that case for everybody, but all I can say is it seemed to be that way for me. So I'm like, let's do this. So again, this is to help activate the focus part of your nervous system, getting ready to perform, getting ready to go and do. Okay, so this is Senobi. And in the perfect world, we would practice this for 3 minutes. But for today, go ahead and bring your hands down and get back comfortable again. And I'm going to go right into the coherent breathing. And we talked about, this one takes a little bit longer. We talked about this last week. It's also called 3-6-5. And the reason why it's called 3-6-5 is because it's recommended to practice 3 times a day. We are aiming for 6 breaths per minute, which is a pretty slow breath, especially if you're used to always, or if you have asthma. So there is some step down into that we can practice. A suggested way to practice this at home would be for 1 minute, set a timer, and do breaths 4 counts. Inhale through the nose for 4 counts, exhale for 4 counts. Inhale through the nose for 4 counts, exhale through your mouth for the count of 4. Do that for a minute. And then set the timer for another minute and try to slow that down to 5-second inhale, 5 seconds or 5 counts. Honestly, it's so important that this is a personal process for you and it's comfortable and not uncomfortable. We never want breathing to be uncomfortable. It's even if it's regulated, you want to keep a comfort level to it so it doesn't trigger anything panicky in us, right? And then eventually the goal is to have 5 to 6 second inhale, 5 to 6 second exhale. So the 5 in this, the 3-6-5, the 5 just stands for 5 minutes a day. So 3 times a day.
Which is actually a long time.
It is.
It feels like, it sounds so easy, but breathing for me is scary because I have to be present with the big emotions right
Yes.
now that I'm having to face. And so breathing for 1 minute is a long time. Taking 3 of those deep breaths has been difficult for me.
Felt like, okay.
It's hard for me to stay focused because my little engine inside is like, run away, run
Yep.
away, run away.
The fight or flight is your little engine inside.
And so I'm trying to calm it down and put it back on the tracks. And
Yes.
say, okay, we're okay. It's just a breath.
Yes, I love that.
One breath at a time.
It's one, and that's literally how I've learned to navigate my life. They say 1 day at a time. I'm like, oh, how about an hour? No, not even an hour. Not even a step at a time. One breath. I think I can get to that one breath. Oh, look, in this moment, everything is okay. And so, yes, you want to break this down into, if it's 30 seconds, 2 breaths, you take as small of baby step as you absolutely need to. We want to feel safe inside of our body. And that's why a big 10-day Vipassana retreat is not the right answer for some people. And that's why you think, oh, no big deal, go sit in silence for 10 days. And it's really hard to not leave, especially by day 3. You're like, I'm out of here. I'm out. So what people do in a 30-day retreat or a 10-day retreat or a 1-hour meditation, you can break down into 5 seconds. And right here, actually, I will go ahead and bring this up. When thoughts or memories arise, try to observe them without reacting to them. That is the practice. It's simple in concept, but hard. And that's why that is a practice. The meditation practice, the breathwork practice, is sitting here in this container of time and space. We have contained ourselves for a duration of time, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. And then when that thought arises, bring the attention back to the breath. What my teacher at Vipassana says is your mind may take off on a story, on a tangent. Your brain, especially if you're sitting for all day long, you're going somewhere. And he says if it's 1 minute, 5 minutes, no problem. But if your brain is off for 10 minutes and you've realized I don't know where I am, I haven't focused on my breath, at that point, you take intentional breaths to bring your attention strongly and firmly back to the breath. The breath is the anchor, and that's why we use the breath in meditation. That's why I like to use it, because your breath is with you everywhere you go. And we'll talk more about this later and teach more about this later, about how your breath is literally the doorway, the passageway, the access from your conscious mind to your unconscious mind. Meaning, when you learn that process, you don't have to think and try and figure things out. You truly go back to the breath, and then, boom, the light bulb goes off. I know where I put my keys. I have the answer to the solution. I didn't react to this, therefore I know what to do next. We get the clarity. The breath is actually that powerful. And that's why this work is so important, even though, and until you practice and start to experience those benefits of it, once you do, you'll be sold. You'll go, oh, this is more than just a passing thing that we learn in therapy. This is a way of life. Breathing, we all do. But breathing has become a way of life. It solved all my problems. I figure them out. Nobody solves my problems anymore. So it is because we are accessing that greater consciousness, that universal, whatever that is. Everyone has their own name for it, but the breath takes us there. And we'll talk more about this another time when we have more time. So that would be, I guess, the main thing is whether it's in a breathing work exercise or in a meditation that we do, it's okay. Your thoughts, you might even have triggering things come up. And what you learn, like when you do EMDR or any sort of meditation, is if your thoughts, and they do more at first, and then what happens is they start to atrophy. The troublesome thoughts, the intrusive thoughts, the panicky thoughts, the trauma thoughts, and the responses. And this is where the magic is. This is where you start getting the healing. Not saying the medication is not totally appropriate and well for many people at many times, but this is where the actual true healing, I believe, comes in, is those thoughts that were once would just spin you out into a mental hospital or a prison cell. Our thoughts spun us out. No one did that to me. My own mind did that to me. And it's through this, when those thoughts start to arise, as we learn to let that one pass, and we didn't react to it, and that one pass, you find a safe place. You find, whether it's you imagine yourself, at an ocean, and we'll do this another time too, where we'll practice this more another time when we have more time. We'll practice finding the safe space. And there's a way you can, I think that's why I advanced so well in my EMDR without having a lot of it, is because it's kind of what I was doing in meditation. I would do my meditation, and a troublesome thought, I would burst into tears that would spin me out in sobs for hours. I couldn't see a child in the playground without crying. I couldn't sit here and meditate. I couldn't be a meditation teacher because I saw a child in the park and I broke down. I can't keep my composure. But in time, gradually, I let the thought come up, felt it, find it, face it, feel it, heal it, without reacting to it. When we do that, and this is another method of reprocessing the memory. We have the eye movement, the reprocessing that they do in therapy with a therapist, which is not what we're doing here, but we can do it for ourselves. This is how you can help yourself at home. If you have that troublesome thought come up, go back, pick a breath, any breath. I don't care what breath, but breathe. Notice the thought. Be aware of the thought. And then this little process right here can help you process that. You will find, if you don't react to that thought, you don't pick up the phone and text someone about it, you don't have a reaction, you don't yell and curse and go pick up a drink or a drug, you don't do anything to change the thought, you just go, oh, our thoughts are our monsters inside of our own head. They're the monsters under the bed, And you go, oh, whether it's a memory or a fear or an anxiety. And then you get yourself back into that sense of safety. And then the next time it comes, maybe it's a little bit less. And then they start coming less often and they're less intense. And in time, you learn how to manage that. That's my experience. That's what they say. And I've experienced that too, definitely to an extent. So your phone hasn't called yet, right? Make sure you have it. Because it is 4:00 right now, so I want to make sure that you can pick it up if you need to. And I'll pause as soon as that happens. Okay, perfect. Because I've given a good amount of the instructional part. So that until we wait for that, let's go ahead and practice the coherent breath, okay? So we practice the Senobi. That's part 1. Then the second part is going to be the coherent. And let's just do this. So I will go ahead and I won't be able to talk and do it at the same time, so I'm going to guide you to do it, okay? You're going to inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, and then you're going to exhale through your mouth for 4 seconds, okay? So you go ahead and just start that, and I'll keep track of it, and I'll tell you. So inhale. And exhale. Relax your shoulders and bring them down. Let them drop. And inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. And as you're doing this, you're doing your best. Inhale through your nose to do the deep belly breathing. And exhale. When you do this on your own, you might want to look up a coherent breathing timer or a balloon, a visual that will show, so you're not having to think, like right now it's hard to talk and practice and guide. I really can't do it. So what would be ideal would be you can do this on your own, and we'll do more of this. Like I said, we're going to add little pieces every time. We could have little on my other phone that is currently dead. I brought it for this purpose, and apparently it's dead. But we could then both do this together and watch the ball. Inhale 4 seconds, exhale 4 seconds. But this is how you can take it a step from last week where we just talked about it. That's the practice of it. It's just really just that. But it is, in this one, it is the pattern of it. Inhale for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds. Now, eventually we want it to be a 5-second inhale and a 5-second exhale. Or slow it down even up to 6 seconds when you can. But I would say don't try to do that right now. If you can consistently get to where it's 4 counts in, 4 counts out, and you can do that for 1 minute, that's your practice. Yeah. Now, if you can do that again, and when a thought comes up, just for that 1 minute, you bring it back to the breath, that's your practice. So we are successful in our practice simply by breaking it down to the smallest step and doing that. And then you just find that you can do more and more, but that will happen on its own and gradually. Okay, so let's just go ahead and practice that a little bit longer then. I will go ahead and do it with you, but this time I won't talk. I'll go ahead and record it, and then we're just going to stay on this until your phone rings.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Doctor, so you never know if they're going to call in 20 minutes.
Yeah, you're right.
So,
okay.
Well, I can even, while you're recording, because
And I'll cut and splice and stuff, yeah.
Or just cut and I'll go over on the bench.
Oh.
And that way, then you can keep talking.
Oh, I could do that. Just pause it.
Come back.
Yep. And then also, I have a really great meditation I want to do with you. Okay. So I think what we will do, though, is save that for next week. Okay? But what I can go ahead and do, let's go ahead and practice this for a couple more minutes and wait for the call. If it still doesn't happen, I will go into a little bit of the dialogue. Okay. But then we'll probably, like I said, just revisit again next week. Yeah. And that's totally fine. I'm good with that. I'm just really grateful to. I know. I was great. That is the practice. That the practice is doing it and showing up.
Hassan was sad he wasn't
imperfectly. Oh. Okay. Well, I want him to come anytime he wants to come.
So if we do earlier in the day.
And that.
It'll work.
Okay. And we'll talk about that after and set a new time. Yep. So just like the meditation, just like going to work, just like being with your kids, anything in life. So often we think that, oh, well, if I can't do it perfectly, what's the point? Oh, well, I wanted an hour meditation and I couldn't do it, so let's just not. But this showing up, this was the practice. You learned a little bit. You learned what Senobi is. You learned what Coherent is. You can practice on your own now. Yeah. So I practiced teaching it. That's still a success. All right, so let's go ahead and give it a couple more minutes and wait for the phone. If not, I'm going to go into the meditation. But we won't fully meditate, to be honest, because then we're both going to feel some pressure. Okay, so let's go ahead then. I think the Coherent is a little trickier. So inhale for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds. Do it at your own pace. If it's not exactly lined up with mine, don't worry, okay? So inhale through your nose. And again, we are sitting up. We are doing the diaphragmatic breathing, the belly breathing.
It's so hard to get over the self-consciousness of letting my belly hang out to breathe that deep.
And that's why I think this is a really great first step. Yeah. Because if you can do that, all the others are just... build off of that. You every single breath. Yes. And that's why I realized, like, when I teach this to people who have never done breathing before, I don't want to throw them into a breathwork journey. That might cause someone to panic. Wow. To be honest, kind of scares me. I'm like, I don't. But the foundation of all of it, if all you ever do is learn how to let that, so that's the letting go, isn't it? Even that tension, I don't want to even let go of my belly to breathe because of self-conscious or whatever. So, yep, go ahead and...
I'm willing to lay in the middle of a park and fall asleep, but not let my belly hang. You know what I mean? It's just interesting. Okay.
Inhale through your nose for 4 counts and exhale through your mouth for 4 counts. And when you feel ready, see if you can extend it to 5 counts. While you're doing this, you'll notice the sounds around you. And when a thought does arise... no problem. That's totally normal. We don't actually stop our thoughts. We just can kind of notice them. And when we notice them, we eventually can learn how to start slowing them down and finding the space between the thoughts, the space between the breath, the space between the sounds. The meditation we're going to do today, but we'll probably do next week, is about the commentator. And that is, I would say, if belly breathing is the foundation to breath work, which in my case, that's what I will be teaching, I would say learning how to observe the thoughts in our mind is the foundation to meditation. Because only with that awareness and equanimity, awareness and non-reactivity, they are two sides of the same coin. You want to have them both. You can't be equanimous, you can't be non-reactive if you aren't even aware of what the thoughts are in your mind. So we are going around blindly reacting to stimulus. So we start first by being aware of that, which comes through our breath work or through meditation. So that will be this first step in our meditation part next week, is learning to identify the commentator voice in our head, the parts, different parts, the different voices. We're all a little schizophrenic. Maybe not all to a diagnostic level. A person who gets diagnosed with that, those voices just got really, really, really loud. But we all have them. That's literally being human. And so in our breath work and meditation, we learn to start hearing them, noticing them, so that awareness. And then we practice not reacting or responding to them, just letting it pass. And notice how just like it arose and surfaced, it also dissipates. if we don't even do anything about it, it actually just dissipates.